On October 29, 2025, Western Austria awoke to a world transformed by an extraordinary snowstorm. What was supposed to be a typical autumn morning instead revealed a landscape blanketed in white, as if winter had arrived months ahead of schedule. The air was thick with silence, broken only by the distant sound of snow falling from overloaded branches. The Tyrol region, renowned for its alpine beauty and vibrant fall colors, became the epicenter of this meteorological event. Snow buried rolling hills and mountain passes, abruptly halting the gentle transition from autumn to winter. The familiar landscape was rendered almost unrecognizable, as if nature had pressed fast forward on the seasons. Instead of crisp air and colorful leaves, residents faced a relentless blizzard that swept through towns and villages, turning familiar streets into unrecognizable winter wonderlands overnight. The last traces of autumn, golden leaves and pumpkins, were quickly buried beneath layers of snow, leaving only hints of the season that should have been. Halloween preparations, once a source of excitement, were abruptly replaced by the urgent task of digging out from under a heavy, early blanket of snow. Costumes and decorations disappeared beneath the drifts, as families traded plans for celebration for the reality of shovels and snow boots. The storm's intensity was unlike anything locals had seen so early in the year, straining infrastructure and isolating entire communities. Power lines sagged under the weight of ice, and roads that once connected neighbors became impassable, leaving many stranded and in need of assistance. Houses and cars vanished beneath towering drifts, while roads became impassable, cutting off entire areas. For some, even opening a front door became a challenge, as snowbanks piled higher than windowsills and doorways. Families huddled indoors, checking on loved ones and listening to emergency broadcasts, as uncertainty about the storm's duration grew. The sense of isolation was palpable, yet so was the determination to endure. This was not just an early snowfall, it was a full-blown winter emergency that caught everyone off guard. Emergency crews worked tirelessly, braving the elements to reach those in need and restore a sense of safety to the region. News of the storm spread quickly, highlighting how even the most prepared mountain communities can be vulnerable to extreme weather. Local media and social networks buzzed with updates, warnings, and stories of neighbors helping neighbors. Authorities and residents shifted from shock to action, focusing on public safety and clearing essential pathways. Volunteers joined municipal workers, forming a united front against the snow, determined to restore some sense of normalcy. The event set the stage for a challenging winter, leaving many to wonder what might come next. The gray skies and deep snow hinted at a season that would test the resilience of every resident. Beneath the pristine white surface, new risks and urgent tasks awaited. As the community braced for what lay ahead, the unprecedented storm served as a stark reminder of nature's power and unpredictability. To truly understand this record-breaking snowfall, we need to look beyond the surface and dive into the fascinating science that powered this extraordinary event. It all began with a rare convergence of weather systems over Western Austria, where several atmospheric ingredients came together in just the right way to create a perfect storm. A powerful surge of cold polar air swept down from the north, colliding head-on with a current of warm, moisture-laden air rising from the south. This dramatic clash set the stage for intense precipitation, as the two air masses battled for dominance over the region. As the warm air was forced to rise above the denser cold front, it cooled rapidly. This cooling caused the abundant water vapor it carried to condense and freeze, forming countless snowflakes that began to fall thick and fast. The towering Alps played a crucial role, acting like a giant ramp that pushed the air even higher. This orographic lift intensified the snowfall, especially at higher elevations, where the cold was most severe. Unusually, the snowline dropped to just 700 meters, a rare occurrence for October. Even low-lying towns and villages, which typically see only rain at this time of year, found themselves blanketed in white. Above 1,000 meters, the snow piled up rapidly, burying mountain passes, ski resorts, and high-altitude roads under meters of fresh powder, disrupting travel and daily life. The mountains acted as a formidable barrier, trapping the moisture-laden clouds and squeezing out every last flake of snow, ensuring that the precipitation was both intense and long-lasting. For a full 24 hours, snow fell relentlessly with barely a pause. This unbroken onslaught allowed snow totals to reach historic, and in some places, unprecedented levels. This event became a textbook example of how the interplay between cold air, abundant moisture, and rugged mountainous terrain can combine to unleash a weather event of rare power and ferocity. In the aftermath, the region was left stunned, not just by the sheer speed and scale of the storm, but by the remarkable forces of nature that made it all possible. The snowfall on October 29th shattered records for the season. Tyrol saw an average of 70 centimeters, over 27 inches of snow in just 24 hours. In the Arlberg region, totals reached nearly 80 centimeters, transforming the landscape into a vast, inaccessible expanse. Such accumulations are typical of deep winter, not late October, making the challenge unprecedented. Heavy, wet snow added strain to buildings and made clearing efforts grueling. The snow reached as low as 700 meters, affecting a wide area and stretching emergency resources thin. From alpine resorts to valley towns, almost no one was spared. Each centimeter added to the weight on rooftops and the depth of drifts blocking roads and doorways. Residents found themselves cut off while authorities faced a logistical nightmare. The numbers told the story. This was an extreme event with consequences that would linger for weeks. For those living in the storm's path, daily life was upended. The relentless snowfall transformed familiar streets and homes into a landscape of white, where every step outside became a challenge. People awoke to a world that felt both beautiful and overwhelming as the snow continued to fall without pause. Homes were partially buried, and hours of shoveling were needed just to reach the outside world. For many, the simple act of opening a door became a test of endurance as snowdrifts blocked every exit. The physical effort required to dig out was exhausting, especially for the elderly and those living alone. The weight of the snow threatened older buildings, while roads vanished beneath deep drifts. Roofs creaked under the strain, and the risk of collapse was a constant worry for residents in historic homes. The landscape was transformed, with landmarks hidden and paths erased. Major highways and local roads alike became impassable, leaving many stranded and unable to reach work or school. Emergency services struggled to respond, and travel plans were abandoned as the region ground to a halt. Cars disappeared under snow, and mountain passes closed, isolating entire valleys. For some, the only connection to the outside world was through radio updates or the distant sound of snowplows. The abrupt arrival of winter caught residents off guard, leading to a scramble for supplies and a focus on basic needs. Grocery stores saw long lines as people stocked up on essentials, uncertain when roads would reopen or deliveries would resume. Families prioritized warmth, food, and checking on vulnerable neighbors. Firewood was gathered, and kitchens became centers of activity as people prepared for days of isolation. Acts of kindness became vital, with neighbors sharing resources and support. The psychological impact was real. Autumn vanished overnight, replaced by the demands of deep winter. The sudden shift left many feeling disoriented, as routines were disrupted and the familiar landscape disappeared beneath the snow. The storm tested the resilience of alpine communities and highlighted their dependence on modern infrastructure. Power outages and communication breakdowns reminded everyone how quickly life can change when nature asserts itself. Neighbors banded together, digging out and supporting each other in the face of adversity. Shared hardship fostered a sense of unity as people worked side by side to restore some sense of normalcy. The event was a powerful reminder of both community strength and vulnerability. In the aftermath, stories of perseverance and compassion emerged, showing how even the harshest winter can bring people closer together. As the snow settled, a new danger emerged: avalanches. The fresh, unstable snowpack on mountain slopes prompted urgent warnings from avalanche services. Warmer temperatures and strong winds were forecast, further destabilizing the snow. Wind slabs and melting layers increased the risk of spontaneous avalanches. Even experienced skiers were urged to stay away. The snowpack was so fragile that a single person could trigger disaster. Avalanches threatened not just remote areas but also roads and structures at the base of steep slopes. Emergency services faced mounting pressure to monitor and communicate the evolving risks. The warnings were critical, not just advisory, to prevent loss of life. The beautiful white landscape concealed a volatile, unpredictable force. Until the snowpack stabilized, the mountains remained off-limits, a place to admire only from afar. The storm unleashed chaos on the region's roads. Rapidly accumulating snow turned driving treacherous, leading to numerous accidents and traffic jams, especially in areas like the Zillertal. Many drivers were caught with summer tires, as Austria's winter tire mandate begins November 1st, just days after the storm hit. Summer tires lose grip in cold, snowy conditions, leaving vehicles stranded and blocking roads. The mismatch between regulations and reality became painfully clear. Authorities closed mountain passes, and emergency services were overwhelmed by calls from stuck motorists. The storm exposed a critical gap in preparedness and highlighted the need to anticipate winter before the calendar demands it. For many, routine commutes turned into hours-long ordeals. The transportation system buckled under the weight of a single, unexpected event. The lesson was clear. In the mountains, winter can arrive at any moment. Preparation is everything. The storm's reach extended far beyond Austria. Cold polar air brought the first snow to neighboring countries: Germany, the Czech Republic, and Slovakia. In southern Germany's Bavarian Alps, communities faced similar, though less severe challenges. Early snow prompted warnings, and a rapid shift to winter preparations across the region. Even in lower-lying areas, the sight of snow in late October marked a sudden end to autumn. The event was a shared reminder across Central Europe. Winter had arrived, ready or not. As the snowfall tapered off, new challenges emerged. A warming trend was forecast, raising the risk of avalanches as the snowpack destabilized. The second threat: flooding. Rapid snowmelt could send torrents of water into rivers and streams, endangering low-lying areas. Authorities remained on high alert, monitoring river levels and preparing for potential floods. The days ahead would be critical for recovery and for managing these dual threats. Calmer weather was expected to follow, offering a chance to restore normalcy. But the aftermath required as much vigilance as the storm itself. Extreme weather's impact lingers long after the skies clear. The region braced for whatever came next. Austria's epic October snowfall is a stark reminder that nature can defy expectations at any time. The event highlighted the need for preparedness, like fitting winter tires early and keeping emergency supplies on hand. Rapid, clear communication from authorities proved vital in keeping people safe. The storm also fits a global pattern of increasing weather extremes, prompting scientists to ask if such events are becoming more common. Studying these storms helps improve forecasting and community resilience. Ultimately, the snowfall was a real-world test of adaptation and endurance. By learning from these events, we can build safer, more resilient communities. Understanding why and how such storms happen is the first step toward a safer future.